Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm waiting on notification, sir. And boom. Okay, here we go. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an amazing guest, one who I'm very humbled would take time out of your busy schedule, sir, to come give us some information as well as some inspiration, and that is Brother Ameer Shah. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, my brother, and it's a pleasure to be here with you and your guests.
Excellent, sir. Well, the first thing we want to know is we know we were going to get to know your father for those who may not know him,
Yes, sir.
but who is your mother?
Okay. Um, Briefly, before we begin, Brother Muhammad, I just like to say Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
Um, and Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. La hawla wala quwwata illa billah. And that is in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. There is no might nor power except for Him.
Allahu Akbar.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Now, getting back to your question,
Yes,
I,
sir.
I, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Oh no, it's all good.
you know, we like to thank Allah, and give Allah praise, before we engage in anything.
Yes, sir.
All right. My mother is, well, Sister Sylvia Naima Shah.
Mm.
And just like to mention that it's been about a year and a half now since she passed.
May Allah be
She
pleased.
returned. She returned to Allah June 9th, 2019.
Mm.
Yes, so she was a beautiful woman, a knowledgeable woman, and she's always giving. You know, always want to help and guide, especially the young women, in the community.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, she had that reputation.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. And your father, who we know from his the legend of him or the mystique of him, but many of us who weren't around to see him physically, we don't know. So we get to hear some stories from his family and others.
Right.
What was it? What was it like having such a father?
Wow. It was an amazing experience.
Mm.
Um, as he was a captain, um, the East Coast regional captain.
Yes, sir.
He commanded the FOI from Maine to Florida.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Coast to
sir.
coast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, he was a regimental man. Because of his military background and his position in the nation. So there was a structure, that we were brought up in. Um, I would say, as I said, it was regimental, militant.
Yes, sir.
Um, and, that's how, we, we grew up, you know, in that, lifestyle.
Yes, sir. Okay, great. Did you ever get to physically see the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad when you were
One,
younger?
yeah, yes, I did. One Savior's Day, the family attended. The whole family went, and there was six of us.
Mm.
Well, let me see. It may have been five of us at the time because my youngest sister, Nakaya, she may not have been born, but it was only a glance.
Mm. Mm.
It was at the end of the convention, Savior's Day,
Yes, sir.
and I saw him going to his car.
Mm. Mm.
I was like peeking around the corner, you know. Yes, you know, and I briefly saw him getting into the car, but that was the closest I ever came to seeing him or even meeting him.
Yes, sir. And what about Malcolm X?
No, um, I was born in 1962, so I was just a baby, an
Okay, yes, sir.
infant,
Yes, sir.
and
Okay.
unfortunately, his passing, I believe, was in 63, 1963.
Mm.
So, no, sir, I never had an opportunity to meet Brother Malcolm.
Yes, sir. My sister Miriam says Assalamu alaikum, and she says
Wa
how many.
alaikum salam.
She says how many siblings do you have, and did you all attend Muhammad University? And if so, what was that like?
Yes, sir. I have five other siblings. There's six of us. My father has six children. My mother and father has six children. And yes, I did attend Muhammad University of Islam. Actually, I was the first to attend um, the um, the University of Islam.
Mm.
I was at the age of 4, and my other siblings, they were older than me, so they had already started school, in the,
Mm.
in the public school system.
Yes, sir.
And the story behind it is that I was 4 years old and just about to start school, um, and my father was approached by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the conversation was that he asked he said to my father, brother, how are we going to increase the attendance of the school if the other believers doesn't see your children attending the school?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For being the only one that wasn't in school, and at that time they were taking the students in at the age of 4.
Mm. Mm.
So I was of age, and I started school. The school was in Brooklyn, Temple number 7C.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Uh, you might be familiar with 7C.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's where the university started,
Mm.
and that's where I began the University of Islam, and it was an amazing experience, one which I would never change. And the learning process. We back then we were taught Arabic
Mm. Mm.
for for a short time. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
approaching, I would say, 75, the lessons stopped.
Mm.
Okay, for what reason I don't know, and I'm not going to try to guess as to what reason they stopped the lessons in Arabic. But it was amazing. I went up to the age, I believe, for maybe 12 or 13, before the change, you
Yes,
know.
sir. Yes, sir.
So that would be, my experience, growing up
Praise
in
be
the
to Allah.
University of Islam.
Yes, sir. And what was it like being around the Muslim bin Farrakhan?
Oh, wow. Minister Farrakhan, he's we're we're family.
Mm, mm,
It was I just have to say that I love Brother Minister. He's like a father to me.
mm,
We grew up around him. We lived in the same neighborhood. Um, the families, we played together. We went to school together. So it was a family situation,
mm,
and
mm,
it's that way today.
mm. Beautiful.
We are very close knit family. Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. And when you speak of the change, I'm assuming 1975. How did that affect your family, and how did that affect you personally?
Well, um, we had to basically go along with the whatever the program was, and that was um my father's belief as well. You know, he supported Imam Wadafdi Muhammad 100%,
Yes, sir.
and I have to admit it was something that we never knew. As far as the Orthodox um, way of Islam.
Yes, sir.
Um, I wouldn't say we never knew, but it was something that we wasn't exposed to.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because we had our mindset was different. As far as the belief of Islam is true. Um, Meaning, uh, as I said, it was an adjustment that we had to make.
Yes, sir.
Um, some of us in the community were fearful and didn't want to make the change. Um, and naturally, they um, didn't want to go away from the structure that they were used to.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Meaning the Nation of Islam, the Fruit, the MGT,
Yes, sir.
and so forth. All right. So that would be how it would have affected me,
Yes, sir.
and I would say it it affected me in a good way,
Mm.
because now I've embraced Islam in its orthodox way,
Yes, sir.
and that's believe in Prophet Muhammad and Sunnah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's the foundation that I stand on now,
Praise be to Allah. Yes,
and
sir.
and that's the path, alhamdulillah, that my father set us on.
Mm, mm, mm.
His six children.
Yes, sir.
That's the path that he put us on, and that's the path that we remain on.
Yes, sir. Beautiful. Okay.
So
And how has your faith been able to sustain you through for all these years?
wonderful,
Mm.
wonderful, because particularly my health. I've just had over the years, I would say the last 10 years, some bad health issues, and my faith in Allah and my belief in Allah has brought me through all of the hurdles that I've come to, and I believe that's why I'm here today.
Allahu Akbar.
Because I've gone through several, well, not several, but I had two craniotomies, Um, I developed lymphoma cancer, and I'm in remission 10 years now.
Mm,
And right now, I'm dealing with some neurosarcoidosis issues.
mm.
So it's been a struggle, but that's why we're here. We're here to struggle,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and the mercy of Allah is what we depend on.
Yes, sir. May Allah continue to heal you, sir.
Thank you, Elder.
And may He continue to bless you and your family. And I want to make sure that on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience, that we thank you for your sacrifice and the
Thank you.
sacrifice of your family. For we stand on the shoulders of you all's sacrifice.
I appreciate
Um,
you saying that with yourself.
oh yes, sir. Man, it's all you know what it is. Yes, sir. Speaking of sacrifice, growing up in New York and especially during the climate of after Malcolm X and then after 1975. Um, Even to today, just with violence, have you ever been faced with fear? And if so, how have you overcome that fear?
I've never been fearful
Mm, mm.
to begin with, because I had always been taught that, just as you said, um, some of the violence, some of the hate
Yes, sir.
that in that time we grew up with. We were always taught that that's out there, and um, you know, right now or back then, that was, I mean, being a Muslim was not popular.
Mm.
Okay, so we knew that we had that against us.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, and another reason that I wasn't fearful because everywhere we went, we had brothers or even sisters um, at our backs. And I mean, I'm not just saying for my family, for all of the Muslim children.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know, our bus drivers that took us back and forth to school. I mean, they were heavy brothers. I
Yes, sir.
mean,
Yes, sir.
they didn't play. They secured us.
Beautiful.
We got on the bus, we got off the bus, and there was no reason for us to be fearful because we were protected.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. And I wanted to can you give us a story of your father? Because my father's in the military, or in ministry now, but he came, in the military, and he
Right,
referenced Captain Yusuf Shah. Everybody, referenced him, and a lot of the people from New York. I was from Chicago originally. Had came from New York, and they would
right.
reference your father. But it was always something very serious and stern. Can you give us a more lighthearted moment of your father to show us that side of him?
Well, I mean, my father, he when he was on stage, he had to perform. Okay, in other words, all right. Okay. Um, on the other hand, he was a very nurturing and giving person,
Mm, mm.
and there would be times that okay, he may not address all of us in a group. You know,
Mm.
he may have a one-on-one, with me, or one-on-one with my brother, you know, sharing different information.
Mm, mm.
Okay. Um, a lighthearted moment. I can remember a time where I asked my father for some money. I said, Dad, I need $1. I wanted to go to the candy store.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he said, Nah, I don't have any money.
Mm.
Or he just said no. So we got in the car and we were driving somewhere, and we stopped at the corner, and there was a gentleman that approached him, and to me, I was like scared of him because well, I know now that he was a heroin addict,
Mm, mm.
and he had his, he had these big hands and everything, and he knew my father. He said, brother Captain, he said, I need a little, I need a little change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So my father, he dug in his pocket, and he gave the brother something. He said, all right, now, do the right, do right,
Yes, sir. Yes,
whatever.
sir.
So when we pulled off, I was like, Dad, I said, I just asked you, for some change, And he said, Amir, he said, that man needed it more than you.
Mm, mm,
He said, you didn't, what you needed it for wasn't important.
mm, mm.
And that I learned from that, and I saw that, my father was very compassionate and, a giving person at that time. And then I said, Daddy, I said, wow, why was his hand so, so big?
Yes,
You
sir.
know,
Yes, sir.
and he said, son, he said, the I think he said the man was sick. He didn't actually go into it. Well, I know now, but he didn't actually go into it, in depth with me. He said he has a problem. The man is sick. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And man, well, I'm glad to hear that story of your father. And what has been your greatest trial in life, and how have you overcome that trial, sir?
My greatest child is, well, just staying healthy, because I've been challenged with so many health issues. But as I say, my staunch belief in Islam and Allah has brought me through, and it
Beautiful.
will continue. I believe it will continue to.
Okay, excellent. And what has been your greatest joy in your life's journey?
Being a Muslim.
Mm, mm.
Being a Muslim.
Okay, excellent.
I mean,
And
I can't, you know, think of anything else, but that is, my main focus.
okay, excellent. Yes, sir. And 1 second, Brother Mayor. I want to make sure that I take this time to do a quick 60-second commercial break
Okay, yeah.
for all of the sponsors of this month's episode, many of which have we're ready for this and have questions for you. Um, Cash App the People's Podcast, and thank you all for your patience. Street Premiere Media Production, my brother Rashad and his business partner Jamal,
Yes,
4K
sir.
cameras, drones, they do television and film, and right now they're working a lot and working on music video editing. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, both of which are on Amazon. Make sure we go get that. My sister Naima, Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young women all across the country, and now she's in the studio with the masks and the COVID protocols. Supreme Men's Clothing in St. Louis, Missouri. Please reach out to our brother and make sure we continue to show him some support. He'll get you clothes all across the country. Raising Black Millionaires,
Yes, sir.
Sister Tia Muhammad, she's teaching economic empowerment development to young children through flashcards. Thank you very much. Brother Kenneth Muhammad, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you all across the country. Thank you very much, Brother Kenneth. Exodus, a new way of life, credit restoration. They will fix your credit if you need it. Get it A1. I'm coming right back to you, Brother Amir.
Oh, take your
Khalik,
time. I'm
yes,
here.
sir. Khalik's Boutique. They do custom made t shirts and they do a great job. Thank you all very much. Brother Chantel X, the X and Express. He pays truck drivers to get you across the country, and he's does refrigeration as well. Brother Jabbar Muhammad, Client First Construction. He does painting, carpentry, flooring, and plumbing. He's in the Chicago area and in the Memphis, Tennessee area as well. So he's dual. So if you're in Memphis or in the Chicago area, reach out to Brother Jabbar Muhammad to get your business. Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs. He specializes in turkey legs right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you very much for your sponsorship. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 disinfectant cleaning service in Chicago. We are wishing you nothing but success, Brother Rashad. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. Thank you very much, Dad. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, my children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are on Amazon. Coming right back to you, sir. Brother Amir, we're back.
Sir.
Boom. Yes, sir. Now, Brother Amir, we spoke earlier, and you were speaking of your wife and how long you have been married. What advice would you give to future husbands?
Keep your wife happy.
Yes, sir.
A happy wife is a happy home.
Mm.
And to love and respect them each and every day. I know it might be hard, but that's the key. Communication. You know, speak on whatever's on your mind.
Mm.
You know, don't
Beautiful.
keep any secrets.
Mm.
Be open. Be clear and transparent about everything.
Yes, sir.
Because once there's a misunderstanding, there's confusion.
Yes, sir. And how long have you all been married?
Well, 20 years, but we've been together 25.
Mm. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Right,
Yes,
because
sir.
there was a courting process,
Yes,
and
sir.
everything. Um, so yes, we got married in 2000,
Beautiful.
year
Beautiful.
2000.
Okay. And what advice would you give to future fathers?
Be leaders of the household, be strong men, lead by example, and just be supportive of your wife. Help your wife because she can't do it all. You know,
Yes, sir. Beautiful. And do you speak Arabic?
I don't speak, but I can. I can, my recitations. I can do my recitation in Arabic. Yes.
Praise be to Allah.
So I, I
And
won't
what?
I won't say that I'm fluent, but the surahs that I study, I can recite them in Arabic.
Yes, sir. Beautiful. And what surah would you recommend that the younger generation study? If you could choose just one surah that could stood out to you or stands out to you.
Um, the most I would say the most powerful surah that the most powerful surah that I love is Ikhlas,
Mm, mm, mm.
and it is Qul huwallahu ahad Allahu samad lam yalid walam yulad walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that is, say, Allah, absolute eternal. He begets not, nor is he begotten, and there's none like him.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that
Beautiful.
sums it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That sums it up. You know.
Beautiful. Okay. And what do you do for fun, Brother Amir?
I'm an avid fisherman.
Okay.
Now, when I say fisherman, I'm not talking about the lakes or the ponds. I'm a deep sea fisherman. I have to fish on the sea.
Okay. Okay.
I gotta be out there on the ocean.
Mm.
So that's called bottom fishing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I also like firearms.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So I go to the range and
All right. All right.
I practice. Hey, you got to be ready.
You gotta be ready. Yes, sir. Uh, And where with your fishing, where do you do that? Like which ocean? Like you go to like
Well, before I came to Georgia,
yes sir.
I used to fish the Northeast waters,
Mm,
and that's the Long Island Sound,
mm,
um, Buzzard Bay, up near Hyannis,
okay.
Massachusetts, and Hyannisport, Massachusetts,
Mm,
and the lower Northeast, the New Jersey waters, um, like Cape May, Brielle,
mm,
New Jersey, um, different ports along the coast of New Jersey. They're plentiful with bottom fish. You know that those are porgies, black sea bass,
mm, mm, mm.
um, you know, species like that.
Beautiful. And when you go to the range, are you more pistol man, or are you training with assault rifles?
No, pistol,
Okay, yes sir, yes
because
sir, yes
that's
sir,
up close and personal.
yes sir, yes
You
sir.
know, that's what I concentrate on.
Okay, yes sir, I understand. And if what is your favorite album of all time?
Whoa, I got a few. I have a
Okay,
few.
okay, okay. Let's hear.
Some of them are on that wall behind you. Off the wall.
Okay, yes sir,
Oh wow, you got Queen there, a Bohemian Rhapsody.
yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
Yes, sir. I mean, I'm as eclectic as you when it comes to music.
Okay, okay, yes sir.
When I look on that wall, I can see that you have an eclectic taste,
Yes sir, yes sir,
as
absolutely.
do I.
Okay, beautiful. Um, what do you want your legacy to be, sir?
That I grew, that I was born, and I returned to Allah as a Muslim.
Mm, mm,
Uh, I I've made no major accomplishments, you know, in my life, you know, that I could say that people would remember me by, but I would say me being the person that I am. I'm the same way all the time. You know,
mm. Yes sir.
if you see me once, you'll get the same person the next time you see me.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
You know, I try to remain humble, you know, and live a peaceful life. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I want to thank your former teacher, Sister Glorious. Uh,
Oh, my
yes, sir.
heart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
She
my
speak.
heart, brother.
She
And
speaks
I
so
just
highly of you.
I would like to acknowledge Sister Gloria Muhammad,
Yes, sir.
um, because she was there for my mother during her transition.
Mm.
She used to visit my mother uh, uh, weekly.
Praise be to
I
God.
believe it was every week, before she passed, and took care of him. Made sure that because she was in hospice,
Yes, sir.
and made sure that those people didn't mess over her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
When
sir.
once a facility see that a patient doesn't have anybody looking after them, they'll treat them any old kind of way,
That's right.
family or friend.
Yes, sir.
So I would also like to acknowledge three other sisters,
Yes, sir.
Sister Jamila,
Mm.
Sister Rakaya, and Sister Farida. They were
Mm.
also actually they were there the night my mother passed.
Mm. Mm.
So they have a special place in my heart.
Praise be to God.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. And well, I just want to thank you. This is a huge honor because, especially being a son of, parents who fought for Islam
Yes,
in
sir.
North America.
Yes, sir.
I have some understanding, me and my siblings, of what you went through in
Yes,
our
sir.
way, and I salute you for just being a good legacy and representing your father
I salute
for
you as
for a
well,
new
IQ.
generation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And may Allah continue to bless you and your family, sir.
Thank you, IQ.
Yes, sir. And assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
Thank you all for watching.